Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to do a short reading today. I didn't actually have as much time as I hoped to do a more full reading, so perhaps I will be able to do one a little bit later. So let's see where the energy is right now for you and what we're looking at and where we're working. I'm feeling a mixture of apprehension, but mixed with a bit of joy. Maybe something is about to change. Okay, we have the owl and hop, which is wisdom. Now, I do work with herbs as well as other things, obviously. Hops has always been one that's been good with as somebody as not an antidepressant, but kind of helping people to feel not sedated either. What's the word I'm looking for? To chill down a little bit, to chill out a little bit. So hops might be there, and the fact, with the barn owl as well. I don't know if you've ever seen a barn owl flying in the darkness. It's like they glow. It's like they're illuminating everything. It's like they've got the energy of the moon within them as they go. And I feel like if this resonates with you at all, if something's just popped into your head at all about this, then this is for you. Because I feel like maybe somebody here has seen a barn owl. I feel like this owl has maybe flown into your vision recently. Maybe it's been at the time when you've been asking a particular question, and this is the guidance, the answer that it's sort of given to you. And hops you find within beer, don't you, and alcoholic drinks. So it's maybe that resonates with you as well. Maybe you've been trying to pacify yourself in a particular situation, and this owl is trying to guide you to illuminate actually what needs to, I don't know why I keep doing this as well. It was like getting wheels in motion. That's what I'm getting, is like getting wheels in motion. And the owl is almost like, if you see an owl in the darkness, it's like a flash of light almost. So it's like, something needs to be swiftly moved here. Something needs to be sort of moved forward, awakened, or it's about that wheels turning, getting the wheels turning. So yeah, that's for you. If any of that resonates with you, then you are in the right place. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel. If the owl did resonate with you, please leave a comment as well. Let me know about the owl, because I love it when that happens. I love it when you have readings and it's like, oh yeah, that did actually happen to me today. So let's have a look. What energy are you in terms of runes? We've got Lagos, but it's in the reverse position. So there's a block to your flow here. And this, I feel, could actually signify something about your dreams as well. Maybe there's something happening in your dreams currently that you're kind of catching glimpses of something, but you're not quite sure exactly what it's telling you. Or perhaps there's a person that's popped up into your dreams that wouldn't normally. That might be making you wonder, is that person thinking about me? Why is this person on my mind? Excuse me. You might know why this person's on your mind. There's something about healing to do with that. So I just burped then, didn't I? I'm so sorry. That normally happens to me when I'm giving healing to people. It's like energy coming up. So something's just been cleared there as we were talking about the owl and as we were talking about the dreams. So there's something about, some wise counsel is trying to get a message to you here about, I feel, your next step, like what you need to do next. Changes, things need to change. There is a sudden change heading towards you right now, and this is something that I feel you've been contemplating for some time. It's almost a bit like you can contemplate something and then just go about your normal day, and then it comes back to you again and you're like, yeah, I'll deal with that at some point. The time is now. There's no way for it now. And we're seeing the owl as well. It's almost like guiding you to say, enough's enough, come on. You need to really get the wheels in motion now on this. Let's have a look. I've just seen something about limiting belief. If there's something stopping you, holding you back because you don't believe maybe that you can move forward in this way, or maybe if this is about reaching out to a person, maybe you feel that this person isn't going to reciprocate or something. Well, actually, I feel like whatever it is that you have been procrastinating about or ruminating about or contemplating, all of these signs are kind of showing you it is time to wake up. Daggaz is the dawn of a new day. It basically means daylight. Yeah, so you're bringing daylight to something. You're bringing something to the forefront. Something is changing, is happening, but you're holding yourself back and creating a lack of flow to what is bubbling up within you that needs to be moved. That energy needs to be moved. So let's get some tarot cards to see how we can move this forward. So what do you need to do? We have the Nine of Cups on the bottom, which is like desires fulfilled. So if there's something that you've been desiring currently, you know, maybe that's what this is talking about, is you need to go and get that desire filled. If you've been wondering about it or not sure about it, maybe there's some fear or doubt around it. You're processing something on a spiritual level as well. I feel like you're going through a spiritual awakening. I'm sure you've heard that before probably. And this spiritual awakening has kind of highlighted a few things about yourself, which, I feel like you found something. Yeah, we have the High Priestess. So this is being switched on your intuition right now, going through some like spiritual downloads, if you like. You are very, very aware and you are seeing signs everywhere. This could be number patterns, it could be music, it could be particular places that are reminding you of something. Dreams as well, I feel, is a major thing for you right now. And you possibly don't believe that your expectations are going to be fulfilled. Almost like you feel like almost like it's feeling like you feel like you're going to get played. Like you feel like if I go to give in this, then it's going to be sort of like hung over me. I'm going to be made to feel like almost like you kind of giving somebody else a chance to sort of go like, aha, I knew that you would, you know, sort of like highlight things about you in a bad way. A bit like that, you know, a dog going to something with its tail between its legs or whatever, you know, like going back. It's almost like I don't want to say shame because it's not shame, but it's a feeling of not being welcomed and maybe put to the trial kind of thing. It's like somebody going to a slaughterhouse kind of thing, you know. It's like, well, if I kind of admit this or if I go back to this, it's basically going to be thrown in my face and it's all my fault and I don't want to, you know. But this isn't the energy I'm getting from that. That's the fear that I'm getting, and that's the fear that's blocking your flow. But you are getting lots of acknowledgement and signs to suggest that actually you are entering a place of balanced give and take. Look again at the signs that you've had. Look again at words that you've received. Look again at messages, other things that you may have received about this particular situation that are giving you the go ahead, are giving you the signs that actually you are welcome there. You are okay to do this. You are okay to step into this energy, this version of yourself. There may be other things that are holding you back as well, because I feel like with the Six of Wands, it's like you want to shine here. You want to come forward. You want to be seen in this light. But at the same time, there's a fear over that, again, of being seen, potentially. Pride as well can be a thing with this, where it's sort of like, you know, if you've always sort of being very prideful and kind of like, you know, maybe don't ask for help because of pride, that kind of thing, this could feel a little bit like, well, that's going to take a battering to my pride, isn't it? To sort of go and say, yeah, I was wrong there, or, you know, I've actually changed my mind now, or something like that. But I feel like with this, because I don't know whether it was reversed or not, you can, you know, it's growth for you anyway to step out of that cycle, step out of that pattern. And this is how we work. If you always do something the same way, and you expect a different outcome, you're never going to get a different outcome because you're doing everything the same way. But if you take a chance and try things in a different way, maybe that's a bit alien to you, you know, then it might just have a better outcome. I feel like I'm talking to somebody here where if there's an energy of, if you can relate to this, you know, if you can see somebody is upset or somebody is going through something, no, actually, I'm going to say this. Somebody is elated about something. Somebody's really, really happy to the point where they are happy crying about something. You're in the room with them and other people, and everybody seems all happy, joy, joy, and hugging each other, but you actually feel a bit like, this is great, but I'm not feeling exactly how you're feeling about this. And that can be a little bit of pride, or sort of, you know, I don't want to, you know, I'm going to stand on the outside of this community, if you like, of what's going on and just observe. Whereas actually, if you were to involve yourself in that and allow that energy to spread through you as well and join in, and there's a heart opening element of that, and actually you would go away from that feeling like those people and feeling elated. Whereas instead you might be walking away feeling like, you know, well, they were a bit over the top, or, you know, that was really uncomfortable for me. It's about sitting in the uncomfortable, but that actually is good for you. So something uncomfortable, but actually is good for your growth. So remember that. We have the Two of Pentacles on here. So I feel like you are juggling a lot at the moment. You've got, there's a need for flexibility here. And I feel as well, there's a need to sort of see the fun in things. You're not having much fun at the moment, and you're very much in your head, and it's creating a bit of a unbalance around things. And I feel like what this is telling us here is to create this flow, and like what the owl's saying is like, just go for it, just swoop in and see what happens. You know, make it fun, make it light and enjoyable. And that's the thing with a barn owl, it's sort of like they're small, they're light, they're bright, and they just, you know, there's no ego with it, they just go for it. And I feel like that's what you are being guided on here. Yeah. And watching this video, seeing the owls, drinking your beer or whatever, there's a sudden change that can occur for you here, and you are starting to change your mind on something particular, and it is awakening you. It's bringing this daylight, if you like, to a situation, and it's asking for you to step up now. So what is your next action meant to be? What next action should this viewer take on here? Yeah, there's been some avoidance around this particular thing, and you are very, I'm not going to say scared, but there's fear around it, there's worry, and potentially a bit of guilt as well, I'm feeling from this. But there's a time now, I've got the Six of Swords here, there's a time for, you know, take all of that and let it out. We aren't perfect. We all have stuff that we carry from the past that is potentially holding us back from moving forward. But the more that we share it, this is why we have counsellors, this is why we have people that we can go and talk to throughout our lives. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're mentally ill or whatever. It just means that you are not allowing things to block your mind or block you in your way forward. Because we can't step forward if we've never met certain parts of ourselves. we can only ever stay in particular patterns if that's all we know. So sometimes you have to take a chance, you have to open your heart, you have to be vulnerable in order to understand certain parts of yourself. And I feel like for some of you, you have been meditating around this, but that's all been internal. It's time now to take it external and allow that to shine out of you. And it's going to be met with support and love and understanding. And I feel for some of you, you feel like it's going to be met with pointing fingers or, you know, turning their back or shutting the door. And I feel like that's what the Nine of Swords is kind of explaining on here, is sort of like there's worry about that. There's worry about that. And maybe you're hiding a lot of that. You're putting on a front and a face that's sort of like, oh, you know, I'm absolutely fine with this. I don't care. But actually you do care, and you have a big heart, and you do deserve joy and happiness and fun. And that is part of your personality, and you're not really fully embracing that part of you. You're stuck in a pattern that's actually depleting you. It's a bit like an energy vampire kind of energy, where it's sort of, you know, nothing's really fulfilling right now. And there's this want for an equal give and take, give and receive. And I feel like you know you can create balance here, you know you can achieve that, but it means being vulnerable. It means opening up your heart. But there's something quite inspiring about it. Bear with me. Now, while I was shuffling there, and I wasn't shuffling anything particular to come out, but the Four of Wands just fell out. So whatever you were thinking about just there, I feel like this is a glimpse of your future and what you want. And it's a solid foundation. It's a celebration. For some of you, this could be gaining a new property, living somewhere more solid and a more foundation. Some of you, this could actually be, and this came out the other day in another reading, like a celebration of people coming together, new relationship, marriage, that kind of thing. So this is sort of, you know, I feel like this is what you are looking towards. This is what you're trying to move towards. And the owl is trying to tell you it's time to get those wheels in motion now. It's time to step out. You've been having dreams about this. You've been highly thinking about this and contemplating this. And now it is time to step out into the light, be seen, be heard, and allow it all to come out. Yeah. And some of you may be receiving some good news with this. And if you were worried about the outcome of this, Eight of Wands is kind of telling you that there is good news on the way. There's, you know, there's action with this. It's also bringing something to a conclusion. So if this has been a thing that's been hung there in the back of your mind as to sort of like you're ruminating about it, you're trying to guess the answer. Well, this is very clear, and it's a conclusion, and you are coming towards a conclusion on there. And I do feel like as a timeline, this could be between now and like the 8th of March. So what's that, in a week? In a week's time? And we do have on here as well the Sun, which, you know, what you've been dreaming about and what you have originally tried to manifest in your life, it's here. This is joy and inspiration as well. I do see a future for you that involves experiences like going on adventures, trips, journeys, travel, that kind of thing. There's something about like a necklace as well, or like, you know, something with a crystal on it is what I'm getting. Something similar to this is what I'm feeling from this. And it's the energy of something's brought you a lot of healing from that. I don't know whether you've gone and got yourself a necklace or something, or maybe you've started wearing one again that you haven't worn for a while, and it's bringing a lot of that sun power, like that life force energy. So maybe that's been a bit of an inspiration for you, that's been coming through on there. Something about a river as well. yeah, like I could see somebody washing in a river or something like that, or just being around the river, spending time around a river. I can see a big oak tree around by a river as well, spending a lot of time there. So there's been a lot of healing going on, I feel, especially around nature. We've got the Seven of Pentacles on there, and a lot of that has helped you in your process of what you're working through. And this is spiritual growth that you are going through right now. And what you want, the outcome that you want, I'm getting from this that you are going to be rewarded. You are going to achieve that. This is a change in direction from where you've come from. Things aren't going to be the same from this point. And if you do see the owl again, or if you see the owl after this point, that is your direct acknowledgement to take action at that point. Because the action, I feel, needs to come from you to remove this block, to allow that change to occur, and for this new thing to arrive. It's time for action. There's been too much of a slow movement. Maybe some boundaries have been set, or barriers even around this, and that's kind of created misinterpretations and illusions. But now you're starting to awaken and highlight and illuminate what needs to move forward here. And for some of you, that may mean making a few changes in things that are occurring in your life. But just trust the process. Trust the owl is guiding you through that and moving that energy through for you. So let's just see if we can get a final word on this for you. So what is the final word on this for our viewer? And if you do want to discuss this further or go deeper into this, because remember, this is a collective energy, so it's not always specific enough. So if you would like a more specific reading about your particular situation, then please do get in touch. My email address is in the description box, so you can contact me to book in for that. Let's see what we have. Okay. Well, this is a very direct thing. So we've got on here the Three of Wands, which is like taking a bold action. It's like this is preparation stage for what you know you need to move forward into. So there's no more waiting now. You've maybe already started this wheel in motion. I don't know why I keep saying wheels in motion, but I do. Ace of Cups. So a new beginning is on the horizon here. These are all confirmation that what you have been ruminating about, what you've been contemplating, what you've been worrying about, the anguish and the worry and the maybe stress about this, it's time to move forward. And the Knight of Wands is a very directional energy. It's inspired action and achievement, and it's the kind of energy of like having charisma about this. Find that part of you that's got that charisma, that drive, that sort of like, I can do anything, I can move this forward, I can be in an energy that allows this to be fun, light-hearted, and moving in the direction that I want it to go. Because you've dropped into a place previously that's kind of made you feel a bit hopeless and that all is lost, and that's been a bit of an illusion actually, rather than the truth. So bring yourself back to the person that's always about the facts, that's always about the direct action, the direct movement, that charisma. You're a manifester, you can do this, you can bring this forward. The Ace of Cups reminds me of the Magician sometimes, which is about that alchemy, that manifestation, somebody who is creating their own life. And you've created this, you manifested this some time ago, but then it became apparent that there were things that you needed to do. And I feel like this is now become an urgency almost. And this is what the owl is kind of suggesting to you. You're seeing these signs because it's like you've done the healing work that you needed to do to get to this point. And now it's time to open your heart to love. If it is love, it might be to do with work or anything like that. But I feel for some of you, it's more about love. Opening your heart up to something here. and taking those steps forward. Yeah. So I'm going to leave the reading here for you. I might be back a little bit later to do another reading if I get anything that comes through. But I wish you all a blessed day.